Hey guys, how's it going? So as you probably already know, there are 2 days left until season ends, and today I decided to push a little bit off camera. I hit 31st in the world, and since there's 2 days left in the season, you know, it's a lot harder to push while commentating. Like, literally, these games I'm going to show you are the closest games you will ever see in your entire life. I faced 4 players who have finished #1 in the world, and all the games are close. Like, it's actually insane. So I'm not even going to talk about it. We're just going to hop right into the battles. I don't want to spoil who won, so I'm just going to cut out the part where it shows who won. And I will say I did not win every battle in this video, but obviously I won the majority of them because, you know, I gained trophies. So I'm versus Sam, who finished #1 in the world last season. And you can see he's using Royal Hogs. And this, let me tell you, Sam is really good at Royal Hogs. Like, in CRL Season 1, he destroyed everyone with them. So you're seeing that he starts off going in. I just defend. I make sure to log. He prediction earthquakes my bomb tower. But the thing is, even if he earthquakes my bomb tower, as long as I'm playing bomb tower plus roll delivery or bomb tower plus log, I'm always going to be able to defend his push. But I have to make sure that I don't fall behind an elixir or I will lose. So here you've seen I go in with Wallbreakers. I was hoping that he wouldn't be able to get down that hunter in time. I knew if he played World Delivery, it's a negative elixir trade. But he gets off the defense, and it's okay. So you're seeing I just defend with Spear Golems. I go in with Miner at 10 elixir. I didn't want to attack with Bats because I know that he has that Heal Spirit in hand, so there's no reason to waste my Bats. I'm just kind of playing this slow. There's no reason to get aggressive. You're going to see let's see, yeah, those are nice Bats on my part, because it allows the Heal Spirit to not heal everything up. I could have also World Deliveried, but since I already played the Knight, it would have been overcommitment to also World Delivery when I can just play the Bats for 2 elixir. You see, he doesn't get that much damage from my tower. And also, you noticed earlier I logged his Magic Archer. That's because logless Royal Delivery kills Magic Archer, so I just logged it in advance, knowing that that is the case. So here you're seeing he goes with the Magic Archer again. I'm probably just going to log again. I'm not going to get too aggressive. And I think I played defense on Miner, because you see my hand is kind of awkward. I don't really want to Miner the tower. And I know that as long as I don't get aggressive, I can win this matchup. Again, he goes with the Earthquake, so again, I go with the Royal Delivery, and I get off the defense. Notice how I'm playing these Wallbreakers. I know that all he has in hand to defend that is the Royal Delivery. So it's like an automatic positive elixir trade for me. And here you see I decide to start Minering the Magic Archer. And the reason why I Miner instead of just log is because that is double elixir. I'm getting elixir faster, so I would have to leak elixir if I didn't Miner. I just defend with the Knight, and I think I'm probably either going to Spear Goblins or... No, I do Royal Delivery, which is fine, because he doesn't have Royal Hogs in cycle. At this point, I kind of noticed that I wasn't having any real problem defending his Royal Hogs. All the damage he's really getting on my tower is Earthquake damage. So, as long as I save either Royal Delivery or the log with the combination of the bomb tower, I'm going to be able to defend his push every single time. But the problem for me was getting damage on his tower. So here you're seeing I get a ton of split lane pressure. I'm kind of like, in this matchup, I'm kind of just waiting till 10 elixir to play my troops. You notice this is not a matchup that I'm being aggressive in. Some matchups you are aggressive in, but this is not, and the reason why is because he has such good Miner answers. I really have to be careful when I send in that Miner. I don't want to Miner into a mini P.E.K.K.A, because then it's just like a positive elixir trade for him. But you're going to see later in this video, there's going to be matchups where I'm playing like Miner a lot more aggressive and on low elixir, just because that's going to be versus decks that don't have 2 Miner counters. So here I get down, and you see the Royal Delivery kind of misses a lot of troops, so he actually gets a decent amount of damage here. I think he even Magic Archers, and I tried to predict it with the Wallbreakers, but I actually failed my prediction. So it ended up making the game like really close. If I had got that Wallbreaker prediction, and I even knew it was coming, like I tried to predict it, but I was just a little bit too slow. So here you're seeing he goes mini P.E.K.K.A to defend the Miner, and it's getting really close. Again, I'm just waiting for like 10 elixir to be playing my troops. It's kind of even like with the... And there you see the Royal Delivery can even hit the Magic Archer from across the bridge. You can kind of see he actually has really good answers to my Wallbreakers, so I have to be careful. And here, this is a play I like to do a lot. You don't see it a ton in this matchup, but you Miner one lane, and then you Wallbreakers the other lane. And the reason why is because this is a split lane push. Like, a lot of times they're going to be able to completely defend your lane. So you kind of have to, like, juke them out. Let's see, does that make sense? A lot of times if you just try to go the same lane the whole game, they're going to end up beating you. So you have to split lane pressure in order to get the win. So here you see I go with the Royal Delivery. I also miner the tower, and I just barely, he tries the Magic Archer, but it's too late, and I just barely get that win. I'm literally just going to show like all the people who finished #1 in the world first, and then like after that, I will show the replays against other people. So this game is against Moogie, who is obviously a really good player. He literally finishes top 10 like every single season. It's kind of crazy. So it's a mirror match, and the only difference is that he has Zap and I have the Royal Delivery. So I don't know if that's like... I don't really know whose matchup this is. So here you see, I actually misclicked those Wallbreakers. That was an accident. That was supposed to be Royal Delivery. Doesn't really end up like costing me anything, but... I don't know, that like even something like that can end up being the difference in the game. Because I would have had an elixir advantage if I hadn't messed that up. So here you see, I just go with Spear Golems and Miner. I think I knight that? Yep. He tries to push at the same time, and he almost catches me on low elixir. I probably should have logged that, I think. I think I should have logged instead of Royal Deliveried. It was kind of interesting that he attacked me with the Spear Goblins and the Bats at the exact same time I had counter pushing Spear Goblins. A little bit weird on his part. Like, I wouldn't have done that, but obviously he's a really good player, so I can't necessarily say it was a bad play, but I'm not really sure what he was thinking when he did that. So here you're seeing... Yeah, so I was thinking that here I would have been able to play Royal Delivery if I hadn't used a log. Or if I hadn't used Royal Delivery on the other push. But I don't necessarily know if that's true. But I actually would have had one more elixir. So even like that small Royal Delivery over log, if I had one more elixir on this push, then I could have actually logged to those Wallbreakers and not taken a ton of damage. So you're seeing like there's things I could have done to get more damage in this game. So yeah, here I throw out the good game because you already got the Wallbreaker connection. I know that I'm probably... Well, it's just going to be hard to win at this point, right? Because I'm behind in Elixir. Let's just make sure I'm not on half speed. Okay, I'm not. So I just defend with the Spear Golems at this point. And here you're going to see... As soon as double Elixir hits, like you kind of need to play patiently in single Elixir. But as soon as double Elixir hits, both of us are just going to start getting super aggressive with the Miner. In this matchup, it's all about not getting predicted on the Miner. I actually decided to go opposite lane of him. I definitely, since... Actually, I don't really know how to explain it, but I just wanted to be going opposite lane of him. I didn't want to be going same lane as him. Since he had the tower damage, I wanted to try to trick him into, like, placing troops on the right lane that he really didn't want to place on the right lane. That way they won't counter push. I actually decided to switch lanes again, which is kind of like... Well, the only reason I did that because his bomb tower is down. I actually don't really want to be going in that lane. Here you see, but I do split lane pressure again. Even in this matchup, like, it's okay to split lane pressure, because if you do, you're avoiding giving your opponent spell value. And you're seeing, like, I was down a lot in tower damage, but I am starting to, like, come back at this point. And I have to Royal Delivery, unfortunately. It's kind of like an overcommitment on my part. Like, that would be a really nice situation to have Zap. But I have to, because obviously those bats would have got too much damage on my tower. So here you're seeing I split lane pressure again. I even catch his Miner. Every single time he was going Miner in the front, and I was expecting him to go Miner in the front, so I think I catch it like a bunch of times in a row. And you're seeing now I'm only down 600 damage. I was down like 1,000 damage early in the game. So we're starting to catch up. Again, I go with the Miner in the back this time, knowing that he has no Knight in cycle, so it's not like he's going to predict it either or catch it either way. I just have to play it in the back because I didn't want him to catch it with the bomb tower. And it's getting really close here. Like, look at this. I Spear Golems at the bridge just because, well, I wasn't even a ton of elixir, but I just wanted to pressure him. Bats in the back. And the reason I didn't Miner first is because I was expecting him. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the Miner that time. I was expecting him to prediction Knight, so that's the reason I played Bats before. You kind of have to, sometimes like when your opponent has an answer to your Miner in cycle, you can play one of your bait troops first before you play the Miner. That way they don't catch your Miner. And here you're seeing, it's getting really close. I'm just trying to get a Miner on the tower. I'm trying to predict his Miners. And unfortunately, I don't get this last prediction, so he's going to get down a log. And it's really close, like those Wallbreakers almost connected to the tower, but he wins the game, just barely. But it was a close game. There were like 2 small things I could have done at the start of the game. I messed up my Wallbreakers, and then I rolled liveried when I should have logged. And other than that, like, I played really well and I predicted, and the rest of the game just comes down kind of to predicting the opponent's miner. If you predict the miner, you win. If you don't, or if they predict your miner more than you predict their miner, then they're going to win. So this next game is versus Hajime, who also finished #1 in the world with, I think he was using like some kind of graveyard tornado variation that is now not in the meta anymore. But yeah, he's using Ice Ball, and here you're seeing he leaks a little bit of elixir at the start of the game. I think that he probably wasn't looking at the screen or something. Like, there's definitely not really a good reason to be leaking elixir like that. But here you're seeing he notices my deck, so he instantly goes with the defensive expo. And this is really a rough situation for me because I don't have really a good answer to defensive expo. But you're seeing I go with Wallbreakers one lane, Spear Golems the other lane, just to not give him log value. And you can do that versus pretty much any deck. Like, it can be a pretty good play. You kind of try to push, you use the miner to push with your support troops like Bass and Spear Goblins, and then you can just Wallbreakers in the other lane by themselves. And it's just really good because then they can't get like spell value killing all of them. And also, they ignore the Wallbreakers, they just get a ton of damage on their tower. And like 4 Wallbreakers connections basically take a tower, so it's a pretty big deal if you ignore Wallbreakers. So you're seeing, I just Spear Golems in the back. I don't really have a good answer to his Tesla. Like, it's really awkward for me when he Teslas like that. So I'm just playing I'm cycling my troops opposite lane of him, because I know I can use Knight plus Bomb Tower to kill his Expo and single elixir. So you're also seeing that I Knighted in a position that will distract an offensive Expo from either lane, which is super important. I miner, and actually he could have activated King Tower there, but he couldn't have because the Tesla was hitting the miner. So even though I played my miner like 1 tile too high, I was expecting him to play a troop, so I knew that he probably wouldn't be able to activate King Tower. So you're seeing I hit 10 elixir, so I just Wallbreakers in the back. Again, I'm playing troops opposite lane of that Ice Wizard. I'm just playing Bass in the back, just trying to make something happen. I can never let him keep those Expos alive. I think I'm going to Wallbreakers here, right? Yeah, it's like, even though I had to play them, like, it's either I play them or I leak elixir. I don't want to be wasting my Knight. It's super important I don't waste the Knight. And I think I probably miner on the tower here. Yeah, I actually go in the back, and I went in the back because he literally just used Tornado, so I knew that I outcycled his Tornado. And this is a matchup where it's like, or this is a deck where counting elixir and counting card cycle, it's literally so important. Like, you're not going to consistently win games, and this is why you see this is such a high skill deck, because it's not easy to count elixir and card cycle, but the best players like to use decks like this, because if you do, then you're just going to be able to get a huge advantage from your opponent. So here you're seeing I go with a ton of split lane pressure, I start minering in the back, and I go super aggressive. Now that he's rocket cycling me, I just need to get damage on his tower, so I'm just being so aggressive, just trying to get something to happen. And you see I cycle 2 minor pushes, just because he did 1 rocket, and I still have the damage advantage. Just cycling log. I'm pretty much just cycling log leg as freely as I want to. And you're seeing again he goes with the defensive expo, so I'm split lane pressuring. Let's see where are the Wallbreakers. Yep, I'm trying to get rid of that expo. I still can't, even though it's double elixir, I still can't let him stack up the expo, and I get 1 Wallbreaker connection. So it's like, I'm kind of worried at this point, and you're seeing he does a prediction Tesla, and that is super awkward for me. Like, there's not really anything I can do. I decide to go opposite lane, which I don't necessarily, like, it doesn't really end up working out, but it's hard to say it's a mistake, because what was I supposed to do about that Tesla? I don't know. Maybe I should have just gone same lane as the Tesla and just tried to get it off the field, try to get some minor chip, because I don't really want to go for the right side, so it's hard to say if that was actually even worth it to push on the left side there. But with this deck, it's like, I don't know, versus a lot of matchups, it's even versus Tornado, if you have a ton of damage on 1 tower, it's okay to split lane pressure, because if you go same lane, they're just gonna block you every single time. So here you're seeing, look at that, he's 1 rocket away from winning the game, and this is gonna be a close finish, guys, let me tell you. I'm literally just spamming the bridge so hard. I'm minoring. I prediction log, trying to hit skeletons. And the prediction, I don't know if it was the prediction log, but look how close that game was. Like, oh my, like I actually don't know how I won it. I thought I lost the game, and somehow I ended up coming away with the victory. I think it was the prediction log that did it for me. You guys can rewatch and see, but man, was that a close game. This next game I'm going to show you is going to be versus Igor. And then after this game, we also have a replay versus FatCat, the best FatCat's the best P.E.K.K.A player. And then we have a replay versus Carla Legends, who's the best Lava Loon player. So we have some really good replays still in store for you guys. So Igor's running this super weird deck. And I don't think he sniped me, because I looked at his stream and because he was like streaming when he played this game, and I looked at his stream after I played him, and I saw that he used this deck before he faced me also. But it's a pretty hard deck to face. Like, this is definitely not an easy matchup for me. So you see, I just kite with the knight. Not really much of a difference if I played knight in the same lane versus kiting. Just a little bit of damage. So I actually split lane pressure. I literally knew he was going to bomb tower. I thought at this point that he had... Actually, I wasn't sure what he had. I thought that he had... No, when I saw the baby dragon, I don't know. I was confused. I wasn't sure if he had Wallbreakers or what, but I knew that he had some kind of minor cycle tornado deck. And I also didn't know what his big spell was at this point. So, yeah. But notice how I have Wallbreakers like in the right lane with a knight, and then I minored in the other lane. That was a super good play. I'm proud of that play. So you're seeing, I knew I outcycled his tornado, so I go with the miner in the back, and I Wallbreakers at the bridge. He goes with an offensive baby dragon. I just get down a world delivery. It gets one hit on my tower, but it's okay because I played the world delivery so that it would knock back the baby dragon. And again, I'm going with the miner on the tower. Knowing that his knight is out of cycle, especially that was like a super good miner. He had nothing to answer it. He kind of had to waste a tornado. So I'm in a really good position. I got a ton of damage on my tower. I correctly tracked his card cycle. And if you guys want to see a video on how to do that, then feel free to watch like 3 videos ago, because I literally made like 2 videos talking about it. So anyway, let's see, yep, I have Wallbreakers. Versus these tornado decks, you always got to be wall breaking opposite lane to split up the push. Because if those connected, I would literally have even damage on his towers. So here, what do I do? Okay, I do roll delivery. I thought I was going to play miner for some reason, but that would have been a dumb play. Here you're seeing, he gets a ton of damage from my tower. I don't know if he had the elixir advantage or what, but that push just ended up working out really well for him. Let's see. Which lane do I go in? Okay, I do decide to go in the right lane. I tried to play my Wallbreakers so that they would bypass the bomb tower, but it didn't end up working out. But even so, one Wallbreaker plus the bats killed the bomb tower, and he had to tornado so that it didn't connect. You're seeing, I outcycled his tornado, so again, I'm going miner bats and miner in the back, Wallbreakers at the bridge. Splitting up his push, I don't want to be attacking the same lane as him because I don't have a big spell. If I had a big spell, I would just be like poisoning his ice wizards, but since I don't, I just have to split lane pressure. Otherwise, I'm going to lose the game 100%. So here you see, he has the advantage now. What do? Do I bats? Yep. I bats in that lane, and then I go Wallbreakers in the other lane. And you see the bats connect to his tower. And that's super key how I'm using split lane pressure here. I tried a bomb tower, and the bomb tower is also like, maybe I should have rolled delivered that since he has the earthquake. I kind of wasn't thinking about the earthquake when I did it. But the right tower, I managed to get a ton of damage, and you're seeing I'm just cycling to another miner. I play my miner in a really hard to predict spot, a spot where a bomb tower is not going to predict, and a knight in the bat's not going to predict, and I end up barely clutching that game. So I'll show the next one versus Carla Legends, because this is not... actually, whose matchup is this? I'm not actually too sure who has the matchup advantage here. But I wouldn't say it's an easy matchup. Or maybe it is an easy matchup, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. So you see, I start the Wallbreaker split. You always want to split Wallbreakers first play. It's like the best starting play. And if they use any of their spells, like it usually baits out a spell. And then if they use a spell, then you can miner like in combination with bats or spear goblins in the other lane. So here you see, I bats first because that way world delivery actually hits the minions. And I know his deck now at this point, so I just miner in the back away from all the troops so that he doesn't get fireball value, doesn't get zap value. I also Wallbreakers on low elixir because I know that he has to commit Tombstone, which gives me a +1 elixir advantage. So here you see I'm just going to Spear Golems the bridge. I have an elixir advantage, but I thought about like going Spear Golems in the back and then knighting the bridge, but I just don't think it would have been worth it. So at this point, I think I'm just going to knight, right? Yep, I do knight. I think I would have knighted either way, though, even if he hadn't played Lava Hounds, because it kind of would have been like a prediction knight to predict the Lava Hounds. So you see, I just knight by itself. I'm not going to minions because if I have I'm not going to bats because if I bats, it just gives his minions value. So I minor Wallbreakers. I was like, you know what? I think I can defend this push for pretty cheap, especially since he already committed the minions. I wasn't afraid to attack because yeah, he committed the minions, so he wasn't going to have like a ton of elixir. I knew I'd have enough elixir to defend his balloon. So here you see again, I'm attacking with that royal delivery. I saw that I was going to have enough elixir for the bomb tower, so I wasn't really afraid to send in the miner. And if he didn't zap my bats, then it would have got like, I would have also Wallbreakers probably and got a ton of damage on his tower. But either way, I still defend just fine. I'm splitting my Wallbreakers. I know that. I think I'm probably gonna. Let's see. What do I do? No. I'm gonna cycle my zap bait cards and just miter to finish off his left tower. Just make sure we get it down. We have no big spells, so I just want to make sure it's dead. I don't want to lose this game, like because I forgot to kill his tower. So you see, I notice I'm probably not going to defend his tower, so I just start attacking him in the pocket. And because I attacked in the pocket, he actually didn't have enough elixir to break through here. I cycled to another bomb tower, or he didn't have enough elixir to support his push. But then he just Lava Hounds to the bridge, and I'm like, no, 110%, I'm not going to be able to defend. So instead, I just knight in the pocket, I miner, and I'm able to get, like, really close to finishing off his tower, right? So let's see, what do I do with my bats here? Okay, I do play the bats on the right side. And notice how he uses his minions to bypass my bomb tower. But I was expecting him to do that because I like to use that play also. So I was able to defend, and I was able to not bomb tower like too far to the right. I bomb towered one tile to the left. And then I finish off the game. So this next game is going to be versus FatCat. And not going to lie, I have a pretty good matchup in this game. But I just wanted to show it because like FatCat's first is one of the best players in the world. He's definitely the best P.E.K.K.A player in the world. And I want like every game in this video to be versus good players. Because if I'm going to show replays, then I'm going to make them good replays. So I miner in the back. I know his deck already. I know that he plays P.E.K.K.A. So I know he has no tornado. So I go miner in the back. And it ends up paying off. And here you see he does a nice magic archer. But it doesn't get too much damage from my tower because I had the royal delivery like covered. And I was kind of expecting him to do that. But there wasn't really, I didn't really want a prediction royal delivery. So it gets a little bit damage on my tower, but not that big of a deal. So here you see I bats first, trying to bait out the zap, and then I had the spear goblins ready for that zap. And I kind of know every move that he's going to do. Like, I pretty much predict every play he makes in this game. So here, he does, like, well, we get the minor chip damage, right? And he kind of has to overspend. He spent, like, 7 elixir to defend our 5 elixir. And then we spent a 3 elixir royal delivery, so we're only down 1 elixir from that push, and we got a ton of damage on his tower. So here, he's just going to peck on the back. He doesn't want to be, like, magic archering because he wants to use magic archer for chip damage on my tower. So I decided to go in the opposite lane. I predict the miner on the magic archer. Unfortunately, well, actually, I probably should have predicted the miner, like, 1 tile lower. That way, the magic archer didn't also hit the minions. But it doesn't end up really mattering because he just zaps them anyway. And I get down the royal delivery, right? I was trying to... I didn't really want that ghost to lock onto my tower, but it ends up being okay because if not, then it's possible the P.E.K.K.A would have gotten to the tower. And also, it allows the knight to survive with a little bit extra HP. So it's not really that big of a deal, although he did get probably a little bit more damage from my tower than I was hoping there. So here you see, I first Wallbreakers by myself. I didn't want to miner Wallbreakers because that would be too expensive, and since he already had a push coming down, it would have been overcommitment. But I didn't want to Spear Golems too early because then I was worried that he'd like sap them or use Magic Archer to kill them or something. So instead, I just Wallbreakers by themselves. And here you're seeing, I have to set up the bomb tower early. I roll delivery log as Magic Archer because I have nothing else to kill it. And this is okay. Really, when you're pre-placing bomb tower like that, the only thing that you're worried about is his magic archer. So you just have to make sure to get that magic archer off the field. And then the bomb tower gets like infinite value. Notice how I used knight on the ghost, and then I used the spear goblins on the P.E.K.K.A. I split up his push, and I was able to defend him really well while also attacking in the left lane with Wallbreakers. So like, really, I have really good answers to him. It's just important that I don't like defend one of his cards with the wrong card. So here you see, this is a super interesting play, right? Because I try to pull his P.E.K.K.A. back, and I also Wallbreakers, which doesn't end up getting damage on his tower, but it forces him to play the E-Wiz in front, which means that I'm going to have a really... Wait, let's just pause the game real quick, because I have some stuff I need to talk about. It forces the E-Wiz to come in front, which means he's not going to have as strong of a counter push because E-Wiz in front of the P.E.K.K.A. is a lot easier to defend than E-Wiz behind the P.E.K.K.A. And here you see, I noticed that I can play my bomb tower high to kill his magic archer, so I decided to do that. There's really no reason that I shouldn't. I also play it so that it defends his battle ram, so this ends up being like a super good bomb tower. And I also used knight. I don't even remember what I used knight to defend. I played the knight, I think, so that the bandit went in front of the P.E.K.K.A. and was able to die before the P.E.K.K.A. crossed the bridge. So just things like this are they're super key, and you gotta have your micro placements down if you want to win this matchup. It's a good matchup, but you gotta have your micro placements down. So here you see, I noticed, like, I try to attack on low elixir, knowing that he can't defend both the miner and the Wallbreakers, and I also knew that I got a ton of value with that bomb tower, and so I probably had the elixir advantage at that point, so I was willing to go in and attack. And again, he plays the prediction P.E.K.K.A. So again, I miner Wallbreakers, I miner to pull it back, and this time my miner actually works, and it actually does pull it back, but I think they still don't connect to the tower. Yeah, they still don't connect to the tower, but again, I'm not really complaining. I'm just trying to finish off the game at this point, and I just need a couple more chipped hits. I'm just spamming like miner log to this point. I know as long as he doesn't predict his miner, I'm gonna be able to finish off the game. So again, I play the knight on the right side. I spear goblins, and this is actually getting like super close. Like I was kind of worried here, not gonna lie. I maybe overcommitted a little bit with that last miner. I play a high bomb tower, predicting his magic archer. That's why I played it there as opposed to low. That way his magic archer wasn't going to get damage from my tower. And I send it in the miner log, and I clutch the game. So this next game I'm going to show is versus Giles Dayri. I actually won versus KidKid, but I kind of made a mistake in the start of the game. So I'm going to show this game because I think I played this game a little bit better than the match I had versus KidKid, who's the best log bait player. Also, this guy's really good also. Like, he's pretty close to KidKid's level. So here you've seen, I'm playing my knight in the back. I just Wallbreakers in the opposite lane just to kind of force out a troop, like, not to leak elixir. I think I rolled over to the left and I just logged the right. Ends up getting one princess shot on my tower, a couple spear goblins hits. But it's not that big of a deal, right? Not that big of a deal. So here, you notice how he doesn't have Goblin getting a cycle. So I go with the miner, and I actually expected him to knight predict the back if I was going to go in with miner Wallbreakers. So instead, I played the knight on the left side. Also, I knew that he didn't have Goblin getting a cycle, so it's a really good time to attack. And here you see, I wasn't really expecting him to Goblin Barrel. I kind of didn't have good reaction time there. So instead, I sacrificed a little bit of damage to my tower, and I tried to attack the left side. I ended up getting some damage on his tower, so it kind of works out, but I would have been happier to play the royal delivery if I had been paying more attention. So there, I try to... Oh, he actually messes that up and ends up getting a connection on his tower. Yeah, I try to Wallbreakers, like, when the princess was distracted, because I knew he didn't have, like, a knight. I knew he didn't have Goblin in hand, so he's going to have to log, otherwise... Well, there's really no other choice that he had, so either way it wasn't going to be a negative elixir trade for me. And that way it allows me to cycle back to the miner. So there you've seen, I defend his push, he gets a ton of damage from my tower, but I decide to go in on the right side also. The problem is, I don't really have like a good answer to his princess. It's almost like in this matchup, I should log the princess every time, but then it's really hard to have good reaction time to royal delivery the Goblin Barrel without taking damage on your tower. Like, it's actually really hard to time. You can see I leaked like one elixir there because I was expecting him to do that. And I was able to get off the defense well. But yeah, it's not that easy to actually do that. So again, I'm pushing, I'm attacking on the right side. And you can see he has super great answers to Wallbreakers. I mean, he just logs them every time and he's able to defend. Again, I'm attacking, or I'm logging his princess. Try and use my royal delivery on that goblin barrel. I split lane pressure. And I go spear goblins on the left side. Trying not to give him log value. And I mean, it kind of works out. I think, yep, I knight. I mean, like, again, it would have been a better play to royal delivery that goblin barrel and then log the princess, but again, it's not that easy to do. So I'm just starting to spam. I'm sending in the bats and the Wallbreakers, just trying to make something happen. You're seeing it's super close. He has 2 more rockets and he takes my tower. So I spear goblins the princess. And I even miss 1 goblin, so it ends up making it super close. I go in. And again, he gets the defense. Like, look how close this game is right now. Do I defend that? Oh my gosh, look at that defense. How did I... Dang. I kind of got lucky he played his troops in the front there. And there you see... No, it still isn't over. But look at that. Since he ignored the left side, it's... Dude, I don't even know what to say this game. Like, it's actually crazy. I was trying to miner when he didn't have the Goblin King cycle. I was trying to log his princess every time. But man, it was... Even like watching that back, I'm just like... It's another level of concentration you have to have in order to actually like play that matchup successfully. I'm going to show one more game versus Prio, who probably you guys don't really know who this guy is. I don't know who this guy is either, to be honest. But he finished like top 100 in the world multiple times, so he's a good player. And he's using a deck which is... well, he just played really well, like, honestly. He played like just about as well as he could play. So here I split the Wallbreakers. I bats in the back. I get down the bomb tower. And this matchup is like... If you don't correctly play your bomb tower exactly on that tile every single time, it's going to be hard to defend his Hog Riders. Like, and Royal Delivery, you can kind of use Royal Delivery to defend his Hog Riders, but it doesn't really work if he supports it with, like, for example, an Ice Column. Or he has troops coming in the back, because then the Royal Delivery will have to knock the Hog Rider forward as opposed to backwards. So there, I think I minored in the back, yeah, because I noticed that he didn't have a Tornado in his deck. And I figured this is probably the deck he was using after seeing the first couple cards. So again, I split my Wallbreakers. He doesn't really have, like, notice, he doesn't really have anything to defend split Wallbreakers unless he uses the bats or the skeletons. Like, literally that's the only thing that's going to give him a positive lecture trade, defending them. So I'll probably be splitting them quite a bit in this matchup. I try to play my miner so that it's not predicted. And I decided to just log, like, even though I could have activated King Tower, versus this matchup, it's better safe than sorry. And notice how he didn't Earthquake there. If he would have Earthquaked, then I would have also played like my Knight or my Bats to defend his Hog Rider. But I was waiting for that Earthquake to come out, and then he ended up not Earthquaking. Probably thinking that I would waste a card, but I was waiting for him to Earthquake first. So I split my Wallbreakers again because I'm like, yep, don't want to go the same lane. I just give him free log value. He's able to defend because he pre-placed Bats. I'm probably going to Royal Delivery this. Yes, I do. And here, he doesn't have enough Elixir for the Earthquake. If he did Earthquake this, he actually would have got a lot of damage from my tower. But thankfully, he didn't have enough Elixir, so I end up being able to defend just fine. Let's see, what do I do here? I probably wait till 10 Elixir. I'm probably just going to split my Bats in the back. I don't really want to, like, attack with my Miner into his Mini P.E.K.K.A. But you see, since he Mini P.E.K.K.A.s at the bridge here, now I'm definitely going to, as soon as this push dies, I'm going to send a miner in. But he actually cycles back to Mini P.E.K.K.A. So pretty well played on his part. But I split lane pressure. I go with the Wallbreakers one lane. Again, Wallbreakers opposite lane of the miner is usually what you want to do. And especially since I got the King Tower activation, I play actually kind of a bad bomb tower, but I still am able to defend just fine. Again, I'm minoring. I try to predict his skeletons with my log. Doesn't end up working out, but like, it's not really that much of an overcommitment. If it would have worked out, it would have looked really cool and would have been like, would have got a ton of damage on his tower. So it's okay that I did that. Here again, I just keep spear goblining. He probably should be like, ideally here he'd be like prediction earthquaking my spear goblins, but the problem is if I don't play the spear goblins, then he's not going to get the chip damage on the left tower, and then he's also like, yeah, he's just going to end up like wasting an earthquake basically. You have to prediction earthquake the bomb tower, because if you don't prediction it, then it just doesn't end up actually working out for him. So you can see like the king tower is really helping me out, like it's making these pushes a lot easier to defend. I probably could still win if I didn't activate the king tower, but it's definitely making the matchup a lot easier. And again, like, let's see, I go with minor. I minor log, like trying to predict skeletons. He ends up playing mini P.E.K.K.A, but it still knocks back the mini P.E.K.K.A, so it's okay. Now, I'm not even playing with Wallbreakers at this point, because it's like, he gets, the log pretty much gets value versus them every single time. Like, it's not really positive elixir trade for me. So I'm just like, instead of playing my Wallbreakers, I'm just going to log his tower, because since he has answers to the Wallbreakers, the log is just going to end up getting like chip damage and also cycling my cards. I need to cycle to my bomb tower every single time. So if I'm playing Wallbreakers and the log, then he's going to end up out-cycling me. Like, it's just not really good on my part. Alright, I don't know. Yeah, basically what I said is accurate. I might have not explained it the best way possible, but what I said is accurate. You can see there, again, I'm always having to spend, like, bomb tower plus a troop to defend his hog rider, especially when he has troops coming down one lane. The right tower is distracted, so the bomb tower by itself, even if he earthquakes, is not going to be enough to defend. And I'm still trying to, let's see, what do I do? Okay, yeah, I play my bats in the left lane, just trying to like make him play cards in the left lane. That way he can't defend my miner. And again, I get the miner to the tower and come away with the win. So I'll show you guys my battle log real quick, but I don't know if there's going to be any more worthwhile games to show, because I already showed like some of the best games. Like, for example, this game versus Riza, it's not really like that's a pretty easy matchup. I don't even know if it's worthwhile to show. I basically got tower damage early on in the game. I got like 1,000 damage on his tower, and then I just defended for like the rest of the game. So it would kind of be a boring game to watch. You see we beat those guys versus FatCat, then Igor. I already showed all those replays. We got 3-crowned by Poison Q6R because I misplaced my bomb tower, and he got a hog to the tower, and then I just gave up after that because he took my tower, and the game was like over. Again, we faced another P.E.K.K.A player. I already showed that matchup. Oh, we faced CR7. You know what, guys? I'm going to show you one more replay. I wasn't going to show this replay, but it's versus a really tough matchup, so it's like, I might as well show it to you because it was a really good game. So here I split Wallbreakers to start. I go bats in the back, opposite lane of where he places bomb tower. Just like a small thing. You don't want to go same lane as him, because then his bomb tower is going to hit your miner, right? So I miner with the bats, and it actually allows the bats to kill the ice wizards. Or even though he defends it, it's completely fine by me. Let's see. I probably just log. No, I knight in the back. Yeah. Because I know that he's going to have to play a troop to defend these troops, right? And then I know that the knight is going to defend whatever troop he plays to defend the spear golems. And then he ends up not actually playing a troop because the bomb tower killed it. Just barely, it barely had enough like HP to kill it. So here you see I get the bats value on the graveyard. If he had tornadoed, I could have played another troop to defend, obviously. And he actually ends up messing up his tornado. I knew that he might tornado there. I ended up getting a connection on the tower. But I knew that if he did tornado, either way I was going to get it. Like, you see all that damage on the tower I got? It wasn't because of the miner. It was because of the support troops. So even if he hadn't messed up my tornado, I still would have got a ton of damage on his tower, and it would have totally been worth it to miner in the back and just not give him the tornado value. But I ended up getting lucky, and he kind of messed up. So I sacrificed a little bit of damage to my tower, knowing that in single elixir, I need to get damage, so it's in double elixir, I need to worry about defending. Single elixir, I'm like, anytime I can get damage on his tower, anytime I can get an elixir advantage and counter push, I'm going to. So that's why I was sacrificing the baby dragon damage on the tower and not playing royal delivery on it, because the spear golems would actually counter push. So again, I'm just going You see, he uses tornado, so I minor in a spot. If they use the tornado, a lot of times they're going to predict in the back. So I minored in the front, and also not in the safe spot. Like 9 times out of 10, they're not going to predict that spot. There you see, I logged the tower, and I'm okay logging because like I have the Royal Delivery also to defend his graveyard, so I don't necessarily need the log. And he actually did end up getting a decent amount of damage on my tower. Like, not ideal for me, but at this point, I basically win the game. Like, I just have to defend a little bit more, so we're gonna double speed it. I think I Royal Delivery that. Yep, I play my Spirit Goblins, I just defend with the Knight Bomb Tower. Oh, one other thing I will say in this matchup is like, if you don't have a good cycle, say for example you don't have Knight in cycle, or you don't have like Spirit Golems in cycle, and they play a Baby Dragon, like if you don't have something that's going to get a positive Elixir trade versus that Baby Dragon, what you want to do is just pre-place your Bomb Tower on the wall. It'll defend the Baby Dragon and the Graveyard, and it's just a really good like play to do versus Graveyard decks. So yeah, I take his tower, and that's the game. So I showed you guys all the games that I think are worthwhile to share. Usually I do live games on my channel, but since it's the end of the season, and also because this deck is like there's no way I could win commentating this deck live. I've tried, but it's just super hard because you have to count Elixir, and that's just impossible to do while you're commentating. It's like one of the decks, it's probably like this, 2.6 and Expo, even more so than 2.6 and Expo. I think you have to pay like more attention when you play this deck. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Like, comment, subscribe for more quality ladder content and other videos, tips and tricks videos. Oh yeah, also I will do an end of season stream probably, so make sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified for that. Anyways, that's going to be it for today, and Vulkan out.